child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say, you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place? Undercover of my skin, I've heard all your names. If it's all the same, I'll keep on walking.
Oh, welcome listeners. It's day 3 of the daily World Champs recap shows. I'm stoked to be hosting this one because it's a bit lighter in agenda items than what the team's been doing the last couple of nights. And what we've got on the agenda today, we've got the men's 1500 metre semis that we're going to be recapping, a big disqualification there as well that we're going to be getting into, and the men's steeple final that happened last night as well with a huge upset. So I'm joined today by the 4-time Olympian. He's been on the show day 1, Jeff Riseley. How are you?
Yeah, good. Bit sleep deprived, late nights and early mornings coaching. So, just got to get through the week. Loving it though.
You've watched every single night?
Yeah, every single night. Although I must admit, I watched the steeple on replay this morning because I went to bed straight after the 1500s. It was already like 11 o'clock and I had to be up before 6. So, still need to be able to do my day job.
Jeff, our other co-host, is making her debut today on a daily episode. She was the feature interview on the podcast last weekend. She's an Olympic semi-finalist. You guys would have been on many teams together, I reckon. Jenny Blundell, welcome to the Daily Show.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm like you guys, I'm very, very tired. I stayed up and watched like the pole vault. So I was like hitting the hay at like 12:30 last night. So yeah, that was awesome.
And are you going to bed wired as well? Like you're up and about? It takes a while to get to sleep?
That's what I'm finding hard. Like the event that you want to watch is finished, but it takes you a good like 45 minutes to get back to sleep.
It's crazy. We're recapping the last 24 hours, day 3, kind of 4-ish kind of thing, and everything has been amazing. So, like, how many amazing races have we seen? Like both the marathon sprint finishes, the 10K was amazing. The semis, the 15s have had heaps of drama in them. Pole vault world record goes down. The sprints are obviously close, but I feel like we've been spoilt for what we've seen so far on the coverage, and we're still so early into the program.
Yeah, from a distance point of view, it just seems like so much more tactical world champs than I reckon we've ever had.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people in it. Like with like the men's 10K, 12 guys could have won with a lap to go. You know, the marathon, you got 2 guys sprinting with 80 meters to go. So whether that's just distance keeps leveling up or whether maybe the weather and the heat and the humidity's just leveled the playing field a bit. But yeah, it's been good for us watchers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like the conditions, and then also just like the level has risen across all events now. Like some years, it was the middle distance, and then it was like the 5K, 10Ks, and now we're just staring at a world champs where when it is tactical, it is literally anyone can win at the bell. It's crazy.
Have we seen this many falls before, this early in the program? It feels like every race someone will fall.
There was a fair few falls in Paris last year. That's really what drew my attention. So it kind of feels similar.
Yeah.
I think we're also seeing a different interpretation of the rules to some of the falls this champs. Like there was a period there where a few athletes fell and you just like, it was nearly like you're better off going down because you'll get put through to the semi.
Yeah.
Whereas now like you can go down and they won't put you through.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're right.
For sure.
Do you want to go to the 1500 metre semis first? This happened last night. The first 6 we're going to progress to the final. The first semi was described as the semi-final of death. It had all the big hitters in there. I guess Laros won, Kerr second, Whiteman third, Tim Cherry at 4th, Koskren, who was a Zatopek winner, was 5th, Filstrom was 6th. The winning time was 3:35.5, and then the 6th spot was 3:35.71. So there's 6 bodies very, very close together. The big news here, before you break it down for me, Jeff, and tell me some splits and how it panned out, was Nordaz. He didn't qualify after looking so dominant in the heat and going to the front and controlling it. He sat at the back And I thought he was just going to race for position 5 or 6, which may have been the plan, but he didn't pull it off.
Yeah, and in our group chat, Jordo was very not critical of some of the heats, but and sort of highlighting how smart Nordas was in going to the lead, and we were kind of expecting the same. And I was watching the race thinking he's going to come around at some point, but never did. Yeah, when I spoke to Croaks, I sort of thought that it'd be a little bit faster. I didn't think it was going to be like 3:30 fast, but I figured like maybe 1:57, 1:58 through the bell. But that was still very like 2 minutes. No one wanted to lead, and yeah, just huge kickdowns.
Yeah. Did you anything else like surprise you there? Like it felt like although it was a bit quicker, they were still so bunched together. Like it just looks so dangerous.
Yeah, I think you're sort of seeing that the new 335 tactical race is kind of like the old 338, 339, 340 tactical race of like, not quite the central, which Rio kind of tactical, but yeah, definitely feels like we've got like post, Rio, like we've had so many fast semis and finals, and it's nearly like you've got to be able to deal with the heats, but you've still got to be able to be strong enough to be able to run 328 in the final. Like, I know we saw Whiteman after Tokyo, he changed his training and went a lot more aerobic. Like a lot of guys were doing a lot of aerobic work to be ready for these really fast, all out sort of 15s. And now they just seem to have gone completely the opposite way. And maybe, guys aren't prepared. Seeing a little bit more lactic in the last 100 building up. But yeah, it's made for some good viewing.
Yeah, what'd you think of it, Jenny? Anything strike you when you were watching it?
Well, first, when they're all lined up on the start line and the camera sort of spans on each person, you sort of you see their face and you're like, oh yeah, that person's good, and then it pans to the next one and you're like, oh, that person could win, and I didn't realize how stacked it was until I physically saw them all on the start line, and I kind of had a feeling Nordas was not going to get through like within the first 400. He just looked like he was trying to do the same tactics as Ingebrigtsen, and I don't know, I just felt like that was too risky with all of his competitors. And so otherwise, I thought the race actually ended up, everyone got through who I thought would. So I watched that race, finish it, and went, okay, that was pretty like easy to move on from that heat actually.
Can you guys explain, like, how does it happen? Do they come up with the semi-finals? Like, is it just completely random, or they go with seed times? How often do you find out at a major championship what your semi is going to be?
I don't know the exact numbers, but normally it goes on your finishing position from the
Yeah.
heats.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they just get spread across. So,
Yeah. So the
but
heat.
yeah, that first heat watching it, it
Yeah.
seemed just loaded.
Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
Sidious Mag guys. They did a bit of a video about it, and they were kind of taking the piss out of how one of them's so much more loaded than the other one. Like talking about this Strand guy, like this young American, who,
Yeah.
like, when he checked the semi final, who was in his race, it would have just been like, shit, are you kidding me? I've got to go up against these people.
Yeah, like obviously the heats are seeded and spread across, but the semis, it is a little bit luck of the draw because, yeah, it's seeded off based off the position, like Jeff said. So that is actually a lot more based on luck a little bit.
So when they're coming down the home straight, say in the heat, and they start looking around and say it's, I don't know, was it top 8 got
Top
through?
six.
Top
Top
6
six,
in
yeah.
the heats to get into the set. Would it go 6 into 6?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 into 6. Yeah,
6
Yeah.
24.
So when they're,
212s.
when you start looking around, I'm sure you two guys have done this, and you're starting to count heads and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The coming 6 actually can be different than coming first, because then that can affect where you land in your semi.
Yeah. But I don't think in middle distance people focus on that too much. But
Do you think they will start to, seeing how this is unfolded?
Probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah, we could be totally given the wrong information here. We need Brian Rowe or someone like
Yeah.
really high technical. Oh, Jordo know about this. Yeah, I think obviously the heats are done off your seed times coming into the event, but then I'm pretty sure each like the semis are taken off. But yeah, I guess yeah, they're all pretty stacked. But yeah, just that first one just seemed harder, didn't it? Like you were watching, and then the second one came in, and you're like, oh, geez, I would have liked to have been in this one
Yeah.
more than the first one.
Like, I don't think it would be a very common thing for an athlete or a coach to think, if the chance happened that you're running down the home straight and you're so clear that you're going to ease up to come second just to be in a better like semi-final. I feel like that's not really a thought. I wouldn't
Yeah.
think.
I guess I was more saying like how they switch it off to save their legs. And maybe you
Yeah.
go from third to fourth, but maybe you should keep your third so you don't have to, you dodge the second place in the semis. We need to clarify if that's actually how they do it. We'll do that when you're doing daily shows. We'll have an
No,
answer
that's a
for
good
you tomorrow,
question.
listeners.
It's super interesting.
Yeah, and maybe like because you look at those, there was the three last world champions were
Yeah.
all in that heat: Whiteman, Tim Chariot, Josh Kerr.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, the stat coming out of the semis was only 2 of the top 9 from Paris Olympics have made it through to this year's final.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, like you're missing, or you only got one of the top 4 or 5, I believe. Like you've got no Nagoose, you got no Hobbs Kessler, you got no Cole Hocker, and you got no Jakob. That was 4 of the top 5.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
like 2 of those Americans didn't even make the team.
yeah. So on to the semi-final, the second one. This one strung out a bit more because Cole Hocker did go to the front. It wasn't super quick, but it just seemed to like they weren't as bunched behind him. Got to the front probably 150 metres in, spread it out. Maybe like 158, 159 through 800.
Yeah, 58.5.
Yep.
And then 158.3. So yeah, no
But
Hocker obviously in the results.
It looked smoother though, didn't it? But then he gave up that running, Jeff. Like he let the
the number one rule,
Nielsen go around him.
Yeah.
don't give up the lead.
Yeah,
Especially in the last 500, or in I think it was just before the bell, wasn't it?
Yeah, I reckon it was about 430 metres to go.
Yeah, I think what he was thinking was he's a kind of the guy that likes coming off the shoulder of someone with 150 to go. Like that's when he's at his best. So I think he sort of thought, hey, I'll get I'll just sit in and then I'll be able to go. The problem was he ended up behind Nielsen and Farken, who were in the straight, the 2 guys that were going backwards. So he just could, like, it never opened up, and all the guys on his right were all the guys making moves. And then, he tries to make himself sideways to fit through a tiny gap, takes out Farken, and now he's out of the final. So,
which was a big shock to wake up to. I didn't stay up to watch it, but watched the replay this morning, and Hannah English pretty much calls it across the line, just being like, he'll be disqualified. You cannot do that. There was no room to push through. Farken like crossed the line pretty pissed off as well, even though it did look like he was going backwards. So he has been put into the final there, hasn't he?
Yes, yeah.
With a small queue. So he'll join Reynolds Chariot from that one, Ben from Spain, Nader, Koech, Gawley, and Chashit from South Africa. He actually was 7th, but he got put in as Cole Hocker's spot. That was 336.64. And same thing, the 6th position was 336.9. So they're all crossing the line under a blanket there. Does Cole Hocker deserve this, Jeff? Like he often waits for the rail to open up, and he's got lucky in the past. This time it didn't open up. You're playing with fire if you're going to like live and die by the rail.
yeah, and look, the thing is, like, if he had just kind of stayed there and waited, like Gawley and those guys were still behind him at that point. Like they were finishing the next layer behind, so he might have still got through. But yeah, I don't know. Do you remember was it Steve Ovett nearly knocked a guy we've seen some of this stuff before. I don't feel like we've ever seen anyone get disqualified for something like that.
Okay, you think
Like,
they're being hard on him? Because the Americans online, like they're setting up petitions. They reckon the runner world's gone woke. Like they want him through to the final.
yeah, like he did try and pass through like a small gap, but you could easily like Farkin and Nilsson, they were going backwards. They weren't doing anything. Like I don't think if they hadn't been impeded, they were in the top 6.
But you can't
Mm.
think like that though. Like what he did, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But
That's my opinion.
the space did not exist, did it? Like he
It
tried to create space.
didn't. Like
He did it
I
in a really nice way, though. He kind of made himself like really
he went,
skinny. He kind of
excuse me, I'm
he kind of
coming.
tried to squeeze through.
He
Nah,
knew he was in trouble when he
yeah,
crossed the line.
you can't do that.
He was a
Yeah,
dead man walking. He knew all about it as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Again, though, like it's left to a 335 or 336 kick down. Like Adrian Ben, he was Olympic finalist in the 800 in Tokyo.
Mm.
Like you're leaving it down to these big kickers. Like it just becomes a bit more of a lottery. I don't think anyone had Jimmy Gressier winning the 10K on their bingo card,
I did.
but you did.
Yeah, I watched the Diamond League final in that 3K. I thought that was amazing.
He came on my bingo card at about 7K when he was in a good spot, and it was so slow. But like make
Yeah,
it a
that's true,
27
yeah.
flat race, and he's not. I just don't think he's there.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah, from a tactical point of view.
yeah, it's just so much more of a lottery when the pace is slow. So, but yeah, I don't know. It definitely dilutes the race.
I thought it was interesting watching Neil Gooley because he'd probably been told to shadow Cole a bit in that race, and you could see it. He was tracking all his moves, and so when Cole panicked and sort of did his little move, um, Neil kind of it sort of opened up a little bit in his favor on the inside, so he kind of like got the little gap that Cole wanted.
Mm.
The camera panned to Neil Gorley after the race when all the times come up, and he was just like fuel, like he's like, oh my, because it was
Yeah.
like 0.01, and he was
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, what like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the emotions post race, and when then people like some of those guys that maybe have never made a final before, and it's pretty cool just to see. So
I am
who do we
surprised
think's
that they
going to be
stayed on their feet.
Yeah, who do we think's looking good for the final?
Like the theme of the championship so far is races are going slow and then underdogs are getting up. But surely it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. We will talk about who's going to feature in the women's 15 final. But I think by the time this final rolls around, someone goes, no, I'm not going to win this. At least makes this.
Would have been knocked down, but here I stand, a man who's rootsy on the stands, and I'm gonna hold my head up high. I was taught as a young man, doesn't matter if you're white or black. Just show love to everyone you meet, doesn't matter if it don't come back. Underground.